Fearless Rick. Today we're going to cover the 151st running of the Belmont Stakes, which is Saturday, June 8th at Belmont Park, of course. And this may go a little longer than 3 minutes because we're going to go over each horse in detail. First horse, and the number one horse is Jovia. This horse is outclassed. He was seventh in the Wood Memorial, and he'll be the longest shot on the board. Don't use him. Number two, Everfast, split my exact in the Preakness. So I don't forgive this horse. But he had a late run getting to the line, a nose ahead of Owendale. Probably cost me a $70 to $80 exacta. Was it a fluke? Maybe. But also, he might have hit a new level. So we'll have to see. More about him later. Number three, Master Fencer, is the horse from Japan who was seventh in the Kentucky Derby by just 4 lengths. So we don't know whether it was the sloppy track that he liked, whether he got a really good trip, but he's back in. He's got he retains the same rider, Julian Leperot. So again, more on him later. Number 4 is Tax. Had a horrible time in the Derby and finished second to Tacitus before that in the Wood Memorial. Tacitus is the number 10 horse here. Now, one thing about this, that was 1.125 miles, the Wood. And Tacitus absolutely ran right past him in the stretch. So figuring that same scenario is going to happen, I think, is a bit overrated. And Tacitus is going to beat him anyhow. And we'll talk more about Tacitus in a few minutes. But I'm not using number 4 Tax, although he will be overbet. Number 5, Bourbon War, was skipped the Derby, was a disappointing 8th in the Preakness, and he's on the low end of the Beyer speed scale, so he's another one we're going to toss out. Number 6, Spinoff, gets J.J. Castellano to ride, and this is one of 2 horses that Todd Pletcher has here. He was 18th in the Derby, and he's probably not going to be a factor in the Belmont, except possibly as a pacemaker. Number 7, Sir Winston, is an interesting horse, real wise guy horse here. Didn't run in the Derby or the Preakness, but ran huge in the Peter Pan on May 11th, running second to Global Campaign, and he comes in with the top Beyer speed figure at 100. And he gets Jose Rosario as the rider. Rosario's first name is not Jose, but he's a top rider. Number 8 is the second of the Pletcher horses, Intrepid Heart, and he's a newcomer again. Also didn't run in the Belmont or the Preakness. Came in 3rd behind the number 7 Sir Winston in the Peter Pan. And then here's another case. Sir Winston ran right by him in the stretch. So this horse is going to get a lot of play, but I think he's not going to be anywhere near the money at the finish. Remember, we're going 1.5 miles. All right, now we get to the 2 big horses, the only 2 that really look like they can win this race. War of Will. Now, had he not been interfered with by Maximum Security in the Derby, and he was ended up finishing 8th by just 4.5 lengths. But outside of that, we might be looking at a Triple Crown horse here. He won the Preakness by 1.25 lengths and was not seriously challenged in that race. So he comes in pretty fresh, off a good effort. He's had 3 weeks, so he should be fine. He's got Tyler Gaffalione, who's emerged as one of the top jockeys in the country, along with Jose Ortiz, who rides the 10, Tacitus. Now, Tacitus is a personal favorite of mine, because he's named after a Roman senator. Tacitus lived in Rome, 56 to 120 AD. He's the author of the Annals of Imperial Rome. My favorite quote from him is, "The more corrupt the state, the more numerous the laws," which applies pretty much today. Anyhow, outside of that, Tacitus ran fourth in the Derby and ran well. He's stretching out to another quarter mile here, so works in his favor. He is out of the top sires. Tappet. Again, he gets Jose Ortiz. He skipped the Preakness, so he's more than ready. He's sporting a June 2nd blazing fast bullet work of a minute and 2/5 at 5 furlongs from June 2nd. Okay, so how are we going to play this? We're going to use the 9 and the 10. I can't tell you which of these is going to win. One of them should. But we're going to use those two on top and below 3 other horses. The 7, Sir Winston, the 3, Master Fencer, and the 2, Everfast, who may, each of these horses could be the real deal. They could be just nothing. So if one of them can get in there, somebody's got to finish third. So if it's those two with one of these third, there you go. If it's these two, the 9 and 10, just one of them gets in there. If 2 of these get into the trifecta, great. So what we're going to do is use 9 and 10 in all 3 spots, win, place, and show, along and box those with the 7, 2, and 3. Again, it's a tricky bet, but use them in all spots, and I think you're going to come up a winner here. Bottom line, I'm going to bet both Tacitus and War of Will. If they come 1-2, fine, you'll get a $30 exacta. It shouldn't be too bad. But I'm looking for a little more. That's why I'm going with the trifecta. So that's the 9 and 10 keyed with the 2, 3, and 7. Good luck. Have a lot of fun. See you again soon. Signing off.